Now, what is the next exercise? We will display a form to the user in which the user will enter data. That data we are going to retrieve from the backend application. Are you getting me? We are going to present some form to the user. User will enter details in the form and submit the form, so that the backend application will fetch the field values what the user has entered. Okay, so let's try to do it. Go back to your Spring Tool Suite. Here, first controller, hello controller, finished. Our business with hello, hi, how are you, done. Now let's go with some other useful thing. Inquiring data from the user, obtaining data from the user. For that, we'll use a person class. Okay, for that person class, later we'll fix with a person class. In the meantime, let us try to put display a form to the user. So view new JSP page, new other JSP page, person form dot JSP, person form dot JSP. Yeah, just before this, if I have committed this, that would be convenient. Okay, right. SpringBoot Web Demo 01, right? This will call 2.0 MVC with view only, not JSP. Okay, right. This is committed. Oh. No changes added. Git add dot again commit. Previous commit has not fixed. Right. So push I will do after everything has done. Right. So what do? We'll create another JSP page for a form. Right. Right click new other JSP file. What is that? Person form dot JSP. Yeah, by the time of creating a JSP page, you need not to specifically mention .jsp extension here, because you are creating JSP page. You are creating JSP page so that the tool knows what is the extension name to be given. So .jsp is not mandatory. Still, you get the file name with the .jsp extension. But it is my habit, so that I am continuing. I am not changing my habits. Okay, right. Here. The title, person form. Okay, right. So here, let's put one heading H2. What is that heading? Enter person details, or any beautiful heading you want, that you can put. Not a big deal. So a form. Okay, this form should have two attributes. Their action attribute is very mandatory. Yeah, let us write action, and the other attribute is method. So this method, these two things will fix after a while. Okay, now ID, name, email, right? Okay, ID, name, email. Yeah, here to make it so beautiful, what you can do? You can create a table with 3 TRs. In each TR, 2 TDs. In one TD, ID. In another TD, you can write input type equals to text, something like that you can do. That is, the styling is up to you. So I'm going with bare minimum styling. Input type is text. name is ID, and value is no, by default you don't have any value, so that blank. So a break tag, done. Input type is text, and name is the person name, that's all, and break 2 lines gap. Then input type is again text, then name is email address, then break. So 3 input fields I've done. After this we'll put one submit button and one reset button. Okay, input type is instead of text, submit. Value is employee registration, right? Register. And another field input type is reset, and the label should display as reset, cancel. That's all. What is this? A person registration page, and the file name is person form. So personform.jsp. Now, where did we create that JSP file? Within the WebINF view folder. So can we access this JSP page from outside? No, we cannot access, because that is a secured location. So how you can access? How someone can access? By corresponding view name. So where you can write the view name? That is within the controller. Earlier we have one controller, home controller. Now based on the business, based on the activity we are doing, you need to choose the names appropriately. So I'll create another controller called employee controller. In that employee controller, I'll define a method, maybe with any name, but that method will return a view. That view is corresponding to person form. Okay, so here what am I going to do? I'll define a controller, com.rebel.controller, package, new class. The class name is employee controller. Employee controller. This employee controller have a method public void emp reg employee registration. Let's say, what is this? Employee registration. Now here void, so it is not returning anything, but our requirement is it should return the view name, right? View name. So that string. So return person form. Fine. So person form is getting written. EMP form we'll call this is EMP form. Ah, not EMP, person. Person form. Right. Person form is the method. So that method is written in person form string. The person form string will be prefixed with /webinf/view suffixed with .jsp. So we got the full name of the file now. Yeah, this class is not a simple Java class, it is a controller. org.springframework.stereotype.controller, and this is a method request mapping. Request mapping. What is the URL? New EMP. New EMP. What is this? New EMP. If I have entered a URL /new EMP in the URL address bar, then it will return one view name /new EMP. I will enter. What will I enter? /new EMP. So it will return person. Oh, again. Actually, why I am always trying. Always entering EMPs. The exercise, once I have completed, I am going to give you an exercise with employee, not the person. So that point is almost always it is running in my mind. So it is triggering whenever and wherever I have to use person, EMP is triggering me. Because with that EMP, I am going to give an exercise with the entity relationships after a while. Entity relationships. So okay, right. So the new person is the URL I will give. So it will return person form. So the person form view will appear on the console. The user will enter details. Right. Now, it is very tough for remembering all the URLs always, right? So what we can do for this URL, in the home controller, home page you have, right? Home page. In this home page you can put links, anchor tag, new person registration. Okay, href equal to new person. This slash is not required, new person. So as and when I run this application, a home page will appear with the link new person registration. Okay, right. This, I think it's been already stopped. Console, yeah, not stopped yet. Yeah, I've stopped now. Now let us restart the project. Yeah, started. Go to the browser. I'll give the slash. I'll try to land in the home page. As soon as I have reached in the home page, a link appeared. If I click here, what will happen? That is showing here. New person. In the lower left corner it is showing, right? So, new person link. Otherwise, directly if you can remember here itself, new person, you can type, hit enter. Wow, a beautiful form we got. So much colorful. What? Black and white. Okay. So here so far it don't have any. Right click and view source, view page source. See, this is the page. Action nothing is there. Method also nothing. So it is not going to do anything. See, 101. Name is Kishore. I'll give my own details always. I prefer. Nothing has happened. But see here, these details appeared in the address bar. Right. So now form we have done. But what are the challenges we found? First thing is form fields values. Form fields values appeared in the URL, which is not safe. Is it safe? Suppose I am giving my password. Oh my God. Bank account details. Oh my God. So dangerous. So another thing we have to address is after I have entered these details, other page should retrieve all the details. After submit the form, another page should retrieve the values and present to the user. Actually, values up to here it is the requirement, and present to the user. Why should we present again back to the user? Yeah, that is just a simple. Later on, we are going to store the employee person details into the database table. Person details will store into database table. Till then, we have to show the user, hey user, I have accepted all the details you have given. But that we need to acknowledge to the user. How do we acknowledge? By displaying a message. Instead of displaying message, success or failure. If we displayed the user given details as it is, user can see, okay, ID this I have given, name I have given, email I have given, exact details. Just to win the trust of the user. We are going to display right now. But later on we'll remove that display message with all the values. We'll store into database table. That is third step. Now we are in second step actually, right? Alright. So these two things we need to address now. Form fields should not appear. So what is the point? Instead of using get, default is get, this get we have to change to post. What is this get to post? Form submission method. Form submission method. Okay, right, let us see. Where is the form? Is this a form? No. Is this a form? Yeah, this is a form. This is form submission method. In the absence of any method, by default it chooses HTTP get method, HTTP get function. Instead of that, what do you make? To post. That's all. Get to post. So let us try. But trying after small changes may consume more time. But let us say my system is not taking too much time. So yeah, this is the home page, new page, go to view page source. Now this time you can see here method is post. Okay, now here this time also you enter 111. You don't enter my name because my details earlier I have entered, so that you may feel that it may be the same details, but nothing is from the back end. Yeah, so name is X, email is Z, then register. Fine, they didn't appear in the address bar. Form submitted, but we did not write anything to what to do when form submitted. That we are going to see now. Here, let us write one more. This is the controller class. So many methods are there. Those methods are called action methods. Earlier when I told, again I am repeating, these all methods are action methods. Yeah, one more method let us define. Public string person registration. Yeah, return blank string, let us say, for time being. Right. Now, why I returned blank string here? That error message is there, right? That just to control that error message, to prevent that error message, I am returning the blank string. Nothing, there is no business of blank string. Yeah, here we need to accept the user given values. What all user given values are there? Int ID, string name, string email. Okay, now let us create a person class object and put these all values. Person class. Oh, we don't have person class, right? Let us create a person class. New class com.rebel.model person. What all members it is going to have? Int ID, string name, string email. To make it bean, it needs few methods. They are constructor without any arguments, constructor with arguments, and setter getter methods. Setter getter methods with all members, and then toString method. That's all. These are the basic needs of a bean, right? Now let us close that, because we are not going to have any work with the person class as of now. We'll do it later. Finally we have some work with that, because it is entity. If it is entity, database, we need to store into table, so it should have entity annotation, ID annotation. Did you remember? With JPA, when we worked with JPA and Hibernate, practiced it a lot. That will achieve after a while. Right, now person P1 equals to, otherwise person equals to new person of, what happened? Yeah, new person of ID, parameter constructor I am calling. Now I got a person object in my hand. Now I want to show this person object, whatever I have created now. This person object I want to show to the user. I already told, okay, hey user, I have obtained a person details as below from you. Like that I have to show back to the user. So how can I do it? So far we are returning the string, the view name, but now model and view object we need to return, because we are going to send some data to the user back. If you want to send any data back to the user, what you have to use? Model object. So model and view equals to new model and view of the view name. What is the view name? Yeah, now view name. In which page? In what named JSP page shall we show this saved person details? Yeah, new person.jsp page. So what do we call? New person. Right, this model and view object dot add object with what name that object is to be saved in the model and view object, and which object you want to save, with what name and which object. Right, Now let us return the model and view object instead of returning a simple meaningless string this time. Now what is the next step? We need to create a view, page, new person.jsp, where we need to create this new person.jsp in view folder, new other JSP file, new person.jsp. Here, new person h2 saved person details. Here, an expression tag. What is this? JSP expression element. Here you put P1. Is it P1 or what? In the employee controller, yeah, P1. P1. If P1 is not working for you, what you do? I don't know. Actually, it is working for me. Earlier it didn't work. I don't know why automatically it is working. Those days, I'll show you what I've done. Here, is EL ignored is there. Is EL ignored? False. EL expression language, is it to be ignored? No, don't ignore. If it ignored, what will happen? The person details P1 will not be rendered properly. Instead of rendering P1.name, P1.id, these all details it will not display. Instead of that, again $braces P1. It is waste. Okay, so if expression language is not evaluated in your computer, so you do that. Now let us stop and start the project, because we have done big changes, so it is recommended to restart. Not restart, stop and start. Relaunch may not work. Alright, Tomcat started with 8282 port, everything is fine as of now. So here I'll go to the home page. It shows the link to me. Right, something is missing. What is that? Here in the form, where is the form? Person form. I would have mentioned the action name. That is the URL. The controller have a method which is taking the form. This method should be mapped with one request. Okay, so @request mapping, with what URL it should be mapped. Okay, so reg register person. Okay, remember this reg person should be the action here. Means what you are mentioning. This form is to be submitted to this action. Means one controller's action method is there mapped with this URL. To that URL, to that action method, this form is to be submitted. Now after submitting, how does this controller's action method identifies this ID? From where it should get the ID? From where it should get name? Am I calling this method? No, I am not calling. Spring Framework is calling. So how Spring Framework can come to know which value should go into ID, name, email? So earlier, did you remember path variable? In the similar way, here you have to do something else. This is request attribute. Request parameter. What is this? Request parameter. With what name the request parameter is coming? ID. With what name the another second request parameter is coming? Request parameter means, did you remember earlier in the address bar it has shown all the request parameter and value pairs. So the request parameter names are these things. Okay, so here request param, what is the parameter's name, ID, and here, yeah, it is very clutter if I write everything in the same line, so that I am moving to the next line. @request param name and @request param email. That's all. Now relaunch. when the directory structure changed, it is recommended to stop and start. When the directory structure has not changed, just a few files content only changed, it is recommended to relaunch. Directly you can go ahead with the relaunch. Now right click view page, right click view page source. This time reg person method is post. Reg person, what is the reg person for this form? Reg person means in the controller sum of the methods, so many controllers are there, out of the so many controllers, so many action methods are there, one method has been mapped with the reg person request mapping. Reg person request mapping. Where is that? This method is called. By the time of calling that method, the request is coming, incoming request is coming with a few parameters, their ID, name and email. Those parameters are to be transferred into these method arguments, and then the method is to be executed. Finally, it is returning one new person view with the model object P1. What is the P1 means to be? A person object that I have created here. Right? That is actually to happen. It should happen actually. We'll see by the time of debugging. By the time of execution, if it thrown any error, we'll try to debug. 301, name is Rajesh, email is rajesh@hotmail.com. Enter. Register. Wow. Got it. Got this. This is what? Just a form. User is filling values in the form and submitting. That form has been submitted to an action mapped to the URL. That is all. And the action mapped method is obtaining user values and putting those values into a bean and then returning that bean, model and view object into, it is written in the model and view object. So, right. But